How's it going out there, social media world, human family? I hope that you are excited about your accomplishment for the week. I'm hoping that you're excited about your accomplishments for today. And I'm hoping that you look forward to just trying to pursue this dream that you have more and more each day. The whole breakdown to what you aspire to be is something that must be written down. Like me, sometimes I try to post things in my mind, but if it's bombarded by a lot of thoughts, you can't quite get them clear. So what I've learned to do is I try to write down what it is that needs to be accomplished. And the one way I can try to explain it to you is, I think I've mentioned it before, I write poetry. But I'm not the methodical writer, I'm not the method writer. I'm like what Napoleon Hill calls a keyed up writer. And what that simply means that when the universe has you to vibrate at a certain level, and that level causes your mind to have thoughts that you normally would not have, then that's when I go to the pen. And that's when I go to the page. And whatever I'm inspired to write at that moment, that's what I write. And there's a couple of points to that. How's it going, man? And there's a couple of points to that. Number one is I may have a thought, and that thought, it could sit there for a couple of days. I know whenever you have inspiration, sometimes you think that you can get it all together one time, and you really can't, because the thought could be like a flash of light. It won't be anything that you're able to grab a hold of. But let's just say if I had a thought, and the thought was to write this piece, right? Now, when the thought initially comes, I don't go and jot it down because it's not complete enough for me to do that. Now, how many of you, when you have a goal or dream, that you don't even try to do that? But if you know it's going to be a long process and that's something that you have to do, you have to write it down. So what I would do is I would let the thought just like marinate in my mind to see what it's going to manifest into or what it's going to be. Sometimes I could write it the same day, sometimes I could write it the next day, or sometimes I could write it days later, depending on how profound the writing is going to turn out to be for the human family as well as for myself. And sometimes we need to capture those moments in our lives just so that we can have a recorded memory of what we've done. And when you begin to write as a method of releasing energy, you will find that the thoughts that you once held is no longer stored in the memory or in the brain anymore. It's actually on paper, and then it's released. Then you can kind of see it, and then you can kind of work from it from there. And when I'm inspired to write a piece, the universe doesn't let me just go and jot it down right away. I have to see a series of events, and my mind has to be keyed up to understand what is this going to turn out to be. And once it's keyed up, ladies and gentlemen, at the time I may write it, sometimes it might be early in the morning, sometimes it's in the evening, or sometimes it's in the afternoon. But either way, it reaches a point where it is time to write. And I'm saying that because I want us all as human beings to look at the universe that we have created in our own worlds, be it ourselves, our families, our friends, our relatives, and all that, and see what stories do you capture from that environment that you're in. But then you need to broaden your horizon and see what you see in the actual world that can actually have you to tell a story. And if you can tell a good story to the masses, and it's something that they can find that is profound, then you're doing your job at leaving a message so that the world can understand that you were here. And I think anytime you write anything down, it's just my own personal perspective. When you do that, you're leaving a message to the world anyway. You may never publish what you write, but somewhere along the line, your children or someone you know may pick it up, and they'll be like, wow, that's truly amazing. When did you think about that? So that's what you want to do. You want to try to find a way to express yourself every day. Have a good day, man. You want to find a way to express yourself every day, because that's the key to your longevity. Time that we have on this planet is finite. Therefore, in that finiteness, if that's a word, you want to try to conjure up a great story for yourself and for your life. If that means conquering your dream, then write that down. But in the infinite perspective, the body leaves, but the energy carries on. But if you have left the body, then leave a message. If you leave a message, then it'll be a message. Make sure it's a message of inspiration. And if you aren't shy enough, then write your story. Maybe when someone finds it, they'll find it worthy enough to tell the world about one day. So that's all I just wanted to say to everybody this week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that your energy is focused on you just really knowing that you put in the work, and that you'll get out and have some fun with the life that you have. Until next time, have a great day. Peace.